The Ballad of Banku augstskola Riga. A tragedy in 51 acts. Gather round, my darlings, and let me tell you the tale of how Banku augstskola Riga crushed my delicate soul like a stale biscuit beneath the heel of a bureaucrat. This is not just a story, it is a crime scene, and I am the weeping detective, forced to document every greasy fingerprint of incompetence. Let us begin with the facilities, or as I like to call them, the architectural depression. Picture this: you arrive hopeful, perhaps even naive, clutching your dreams like a bouquet of slightly wilted daisies. But alas, the building itself seems to recoil from joy. The walls are the color of regret, the floors sticky with the ghosts of bad decisions. And do not even get me started on the accessibility, or should I say, the lack thereof. One poor soul lamented that you cannot even bicycle to this place, let alone navigate it with a wheelchair. How charming! Nothing says higher education like a building that actively resists human entry. Now the administration, a circus of chaos where schedules change faster than a politician's promises. One day your class is at noon, the next it has vanished into the bureaucratic void. The staff, less helpful than a broken vending machine, they gaze upon you with the blank indifference of a cat watching a fly die. And when you dare to ask for help, a sigh, a shrug, a slow shuffling of papers as if your very existence is an inconvenience. But wait, the professors, these paragons of wisdom, these scholars of nothing apparently. They drone through lectures like sleepwalkers, reciting from textbooks older than their own tenure. Real-world experience, These people teach banking like monks who have never touched money. The course materials, dusty relics as relevant as a dial-up modem. And for this, they charge you, yes, they charge you like a highway robber with a degree in extortion. The librario, my sweet summer child, do not even dream of it. A place where books go to wither, where the silence is not scholarly but funereal. The shelves sag under the weight of neglect, the carpets smell of defeat, and the computers, slower than a sloth on sedatives. And then, the food. Oh, the food. Imagine the saddest cafeteria in the world where meals are prepared with all the love of a tax audit. The eddy and scold, greasy tasting of resignation. The texture, like chewing on disappointment. The smell, a haunting blend of boiled despair and institutional neglect. Every bite is a reminder that joy is dead and you are just a prisoner in this culinary gulag. But the true tragedy, the career services, or rather, the lack thereof. You graduate so somehow to discover your degree is as useful as a chocolate teapot. Employers glance at it, then at you, then back at it, before gently pushing it across the table like a used napkin. No internships, no job lades, no hope. Just you, alone, clutching your expensive piece of paper, wondering if you should frame it or burn it for warmth. And so, my darlings, here I am. A survivor of Banku augstskola Riga.
Businesses near Banku augstskola Riga share a common feeling of disappointment and hidden cost. The atmosphere feels like a place where promises are louder than the reality, and the hidden fees are the ghost that haunts every visit. The shopping center known as Gallerija Centers reflects this pattern. Visitors describe rude security staff and a smell that lingers like a bad memory. The food court once offered a tasty poke bowl but left many with a stomach that fought for days. Restrooms ask for money, and the hand dryer looks as dirty as the floor. Even the information desk refuses to let a phone charge for a few minutes. The whole experience feels like stepping into a mall that forgot how to welcome a guest. The coffee and pastry shop called Mikla follows the same unhappy. Prices for drinks resemble the cost of a small treasure chest, yet the coffee arrives cold and the pastries taste as if they were copied from a generic box. Customers report extra charges for takeaway boxes that appear out of thin air, and the staff often seem uninterested in helping, sometimes refusing to give change for a large bill. The service feels like a rehearsal where the actors have lost their lines, leaving the audience feeling ignored. The wine bar Truffler Pig continues the theme of overpriced indulgence combined with rude treatment. The space is tiny, so crowded that patrons sit like sardines in a can, and the noise level rises to a roar that drowns conversation. Wine is served in the same glass even when the color changes, a mistake that makes the taste mix like an unwanted cocktail. Service becomes harsh for anyone who does not speak Latvian, and the staff react with aggression when asked for a proper glass change. The overall picture is a place that pretends to be elegant while hiding a rough edge. Even the nightlife venue Top Club Riga mirrors this disappointing vibe. The entrance fee is charged even when the dance floor is empty, and the music sounds like a tired lullaby played for a handful of people. Security staff have been described as aggressive, pushing guests out without cause and even causing injury. Some visitors report feeling unsafe because troublemakers are ignored by the guards. Prices for drinks climb high enough to make a traveler wonder if the night is being sold by the minute. The venue feels more like a guarded hallway than a lively club. These patterns suggest that the businesses surrounding Banku augstskola Riga are veiled in high prices, unhelpful staff, and an overall sense of neglect. Travelers should expect to pay more for less, to encounter rude attitudes, and to find hidden rules that are not clearly explained. It is wise to carry extra cash for unexpected charges, to be prepared for long waiting times, and to keep an eye on personal belongings when the staff appear distracted. If you are looking for a smoother experience, consider venturing a little further from the campus. Seek out places that have clear signage, friendly service, and reasonable prices. Remember that the disappointment you feel may be a clue, a mystery that points you toward better options hidden in other neighborhoods. Stay observant, trust your instincts, and do not let an overcharged coffee or a forced exit ruin the whole trip. The city has many hidden gems, and with a cautious eye, you can find them beyond the shadow of the tired businesses near the school.
You know, when you start looking into the kinds of things that happen around Banku augstskola Riga, it's enough to make anyone feel down. It's like the charm of the place gets overshadowed by these dark clouds of deception. Just recently, there was this watch store heist right in the heart of the old town. It was broad daylight, and these bold robbers just stormed in, smashing cases and grabbing the most expensive watches. I can only imagine the panic and fear that spread through the streets, tourists and locals alike. The robbers, they must have been professionals, because they knew exactly what they wanted and where to find it. They vanished as quickly as they appeared, leaving chaos in their wake. And the people there, they were probably left shaking, their hearts racing, wondering if it's safe to walk these historic streets anymore. I bet the police were scrambling to piece together the clues, hoping to catch these thieves before they strike again. But it's not just the dramatic stuff that you have to worry about. There's this sneakier kind of scam happening on Banku Street. You've got these bars, you know, places that seem friendly enough, luring you in with promises of a good time. But once you ray in, that's when they hit you with the bill. I am talking about charges that are so outlandish, it's like they ray not even trying to hide it. People have been charged hundreds of euros for a single drink, and it's just not right. Can you imagine sitting there, enjoying your evening, and then you ray presented with a bill that's the size of a small car payment? It's like you ray trapped, and they know it. You'd probably argue, try to reason with them, but in a place where you don't speak the language fluently, what can you really do? I wouldn't be surprised if some folks felt they had no choice but to pay up, their night ruined, their trust in the kindness of strangers shattered. And then there's the taxi scam. It's late, you've had a fun night out, and you just want to get back to your hotel. You hop in a cab, and before you know it, you've been charged an absurd amount through contactless payment. It's like they've taken advantage of the fact that you ray tired and maybe not paying as much attention as you should. You probably wouldn't even realize it until days later when you ray back home, going over your bank statements. It's a violation, a betrayal of the trust we place in the people who are supposed to help us get where we ray going. It's sad, really, that such beautiful streets can be tainted by these kinds of incidents. It makes you wonder, who can you trust? It's like the warmth of the city has been dimmed by the shadows of greed and deceit. But you know, we have to be the light for each other, to share these stories and shine a spotlight on the wrongs. Maybe then we can prevent others from falling victim to these scams. Because at the end of the day, no one deserves to have their memories of a place like Riga